Hello guys and Merry Christmas to all who celebrate. There were a lot of fireworks on various legitimate military targets in different parts of the Russian Federation, including Moscow. Another big oil refinery destroyed in Rostov region with 6 Storm Shadow missiles. So Putin decided he wants to threaten some of NATO countries, sending his spy aircraft to Poland, to the north part of Britain, to Romania. But trust me, Russia is the weakest ever. Just have a look at the map of the Russian regions that were turned into an active war zone in 2025 and you will see by yourselves. Russia is the weakest ever. Russia is the poorest ever. So it's not the time to appease Kremlin dictator and inspire other authoritarian regimes. It is the time to remain united and to defeat and demilitarize Russia, because you clever, kind people know that is the only working peace plan. My name is Anna, I'm from Ukraine, I'm in Ukraine. Subscribe and share these videos to demonstrate your solidarity with us. We need that. So let's begin with perhaps an extremely important moment of 2025 that turned Moscow into an active war zone. Their mayor, various local authorities constantly report about more and more Ukrainian drones landing loudly on various military facilities in or around the Russian capital. Its image as an invincible fortress, the heart of the evil empire, was totally ruined once again by the fact that we can easily reach it with the Ukrainian drones. We can deliver justice to various Russian generals who previously felt totally safe in the capital of the Russian Federation, that far away from the Ukrainian borders. And it also gives a lot of this wartime experiences to these people, beginning with faraway explosions they can hear on the legitimate military sites, air raid alerts, cancelled flights, not working GPS, and the fact that more and more of them realize Putin failed not just the Blitzkrieg, Putin failed the project of the strong Russian Federation. He is losing control. Thumbs up for that, because this is one of the very important victories in the course of this war. Another one is the destruction of the Russian oil industry. Another victory that is -1 very big oil refinery in Rostov region, that is Novoshakhtinsky oil refinery. It belongs to an extremely important part of the Russian military industrial complex because it develops aviation fuel. So the less aviation fuel they have, the more silent and safe nights we have in Ukraine, and most importantly, this means a lot of innocent lives saved. And also this is a huge problem for the Russian budget, because not only we destroy their oil industry, we lead to the cancellation of their companies like Rosneft, Lukoil, Tatneft. We also ruin their export by targeting oil terminals in various ports like Tuapse and Novorossiysk. And sanctions are working. That's why the Kremlin now sells oil for like $35 per barrel, which is literally nothing. They sell it only because it's dangerous to keep it inside Russia. And that's important. That is one of the triggers that will definitely ruin Russia's budget, and maybe something even more important. But of course, Putin wants to keep threatening the world. Unfortunately, we have a lot of weak leaders who believe that by appeasing a bully they can achieve success. But no, just look at the history of the Second World War and you will learn that the best way to end all the killings, to end all the madness, is to neutralize the person and persons responsible for that. And by the way, that's exactly what President Zelensky talked about in his Christmas address. And we kind of loved it in Ukraine. It was pretty unexpected, but of course, Putin is not the only one to blame. Quoting Churchill, if the country is run by a dictator, it is not only a dictator to blame, but let's be honest, if he is sent to The Hague or elsewhere, this would also be very good for some changes inside the Russian Federation. But right now, last night, Christmas night, Putin's spy aircraft, like Tu-95 or something, were too close to the borders of Britain in the Norwegian Sea, and they were followed by the interception aircraft, but that is definitely a message from Putin. Also, Poland raised its aviation during attacks, and most likely they have shut down. Congratulations for that. That's important. That is the demonstration of strength and sovereignty, especially if this Russian drone that they most likely shut down was on the territory of Poland. It's totally legitimate to protect your people, to protect your country, because what is that Russian drone doing on the territory of Poland? The moment it crosses the border, it becomes a legitimate target. That's obvious, and Russians also know that. And they often also are too close to the borders of Poland in the Baltics. Baltics is one of the tense regions right now. And to tell you the truth, these air balloons that constantly travel from Belarus to Lithuania, they often close airports in Vilnius, as if I'm not mistaken, to Estonia too. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments below. I know I have people watching us from Estonia, from Latvia, Lithuania, and this is my very favorite countries. United we stand, but if EU leaders remain weak, demonstrate their desire to constantly negotiate with Putin. I was actually a bit disappointed that they decided not to touch these frozen assets, as if Russia did not commit a million war and international crimes. And if it continues, I will be very worried for two parts of the world. Let me know what regions do you consider the most dangerous with your background, with your knowledge. But I think Taiwan and the Baltics. And we still have a chance to prevent that. And we all know that people in Ukraine, people in Lithuania, people in Taiwan all want to live, work, all are peaceful, kind people that respect the laws. So maybe it's better to support such people and to defeat all those who undermine our world order, the rules that helped us live for a very long period after the Second World War. Let me know what are your predictions. Maybe we will discuss that on our live, because I feel like chatting with you this Saturday, 9 p.m. Kyiv. As always, let me know, are you available? Because that would be a nice Christmas celebration together and a lot of topics that we can actually discuss. And wishing you Merry Christmas if you celebrate. May some good news enter your families. And please always know that you have a friend in Ukraine. And I'm forever grateful for your strength, for your bravery, and for your choice to stand with us against this big evil. But trust me, it can and will be defeated. Russia is the weakest and the poorest ever. Thank you once again. United we stand. Slava Ukraini!